Good day everyone, I'm Aizal T. Madera and today we are going to talk about Dead Star by Paz Marquez Benitez. Dead Star is a narrative short story by Paz Marquez Benitez which is written in the third person point of view using the pronouns he, she, it, and they. This short story was written in 1925 and has a significant place in Philippine English literature as it gives birth to modern English writing in the Philippines. At that time, English was newly introduced and the writers were struggling hard while using English as a medium of expression. Dead Star is a masterpiece of Paz. In this short story, she didn't only talk about love. Her writing is significant as it reflects the spirit of the time. It depicts the language, norms, and the manners of the people during that time. The readers are enabled to understand how marriage, fidelity, and courtship were viewed during the early 20th century. These also serve as a mode to compare the past and the present and the fading traditional culture and the predominating modern culture. Paz Marquez Benitez authored the first Filipino modern English language short story Dead Stars published in the Philippine Herald in 1925. She was born on March 3, 1894 at Lucena, Tayabas, which is now Quezon, and among the first generation of the Filipino trained in the American education system which is used English as a medium of instruction. She married UP College of Education Dean Francisco Benitez, with whom she had 4 children. In 1919, she founded Women's Home Journal, the first women magazine in the country. In 1928, she compiled the Filipino Love Stories, reportedly the first Filipino anthology of the Philippine stories in English by Filipinos from the work of her students. She died on November 10, 1983. Moving on, let's now have the elements of the short story Dead Stars. Setting. The time of the story is Lenten season because they are celebrating the Holy Week proven by the procession they made with Our Lady of Sorrow. The place of the story happened at Judge Del Valle house and Don Juan's house where there are coconut and a beach calle Will Santa Cruz. Characters. Major characters are Alfredo Salazar. He's the son of Don Julian. He's over 30 years old bachelor. He believes in true love and optimism to discover ecstasy in its tear. Esperanza. She is the wife of Alfredo Salazar. Esperanza is an impassionate woman having strong will and principles. A homely woman, she also among the lucky women who have the aptitude of consistent beauty. Julia Salas. She is the sister-in-law of Judge Del Valle, a friend of Alfredo's father. She is the second woman with whom Alfredo falls in love with. Minor characters are Don Julian, he is the father of Alfredo Salazar. Carmen is the only sister of Alfredo Salazar. Judge Del Valle, he is Julia's brother-in-law. Calixta, he is a note carrier of Esperanza and Alfredo Salazar. Brigada Samui, the elusive woman whom Alfredo is searching for. Conflict. Alfredo is not ready to take a commitment to Esperanza even they are engaged for many years. Although Alfredo seems uncertain of his real wants, it is not meant though that Alfredo is afraid to commit. He just fell in love with another woman named Julia Salas. Plot. Exposition. At Don Julian's house, Carmen was asking Don Julian about Alfredo and Esperanza. Rising action. Alfredo had gone neighboring with Don Julian to Judge Del Valle's house. He met Julia Salas. All the time he was calling her Mrs. Del Valle, which led him to embarrassment. Coming to the judge's house became often, then he realized he was in love with Julia in spite of his engagement with Esperanza. Climax. After the procession for the Lady of Sorrows, Alfredo caught up with Julia. It was when Julia found out about Alfredo's wedding, so she congratulated him. Alfredo needs to make a very difficult decision. Would he choose what he wants to, or would he choose what he has to? Falling action. Julia didn't want Alfredo not to honor his understanding with Esperanza. She said goodbye. Alfredo went home to Esperanza, and there the last word has been said. Denoma. Alfredo and Esperanza got married. After 8 years, he has been searching for a lady named Brigada Samuy, a lady important for his defense in the court in Santa Cruz, which is Julia's hometown. He went to Julia's house and he found out that Julia is still unmarried, and then he realized that his love for Julia was like a dead star. It was non-existent. The story, Dead Star, revolves around the man Alfredo Salazar and his affairs. Alfredo Salazar believes in true love and optimism to discover ecstasy in its tear. Esperanza is the first woman he falls in love with. The families of both of them are acquainted with each other, and hence they start a loving relationship. Both get engaged after 3 years of their relationship. Alfredo is a lawyer who has a strong desire and wants warmth and compassion. However, Esperanza is an impassionate woman having strong will and principles. Alfredo's love for her soon fades away when he meets Julia. Julia now becomes a new object of his desire. Julia Salas is a sister-in-law of the judge who is a friend of Alfredo's father. Julia is an optimistic and enthusiastic person having her own dreams and desires. When Alfredo comes across her, he is strongly attracted to Julia. On his visit to her with his father, he engaged himself in a conversation with Julia and is attracted to her charm. Even he is so passionate, he doesn't disclose his engagement to Esperanza. So as to avoid the discovery of his fiancée, he kept secret from Esperanza too. His eyes are doomed when he learns about Julia's return to her native town. With the fear of losing her, Alfredo decides to declare his true feelings for Julia. When the church function ends, Alfredo goes to meet her, though his fiancée is waiting for him. When he reaches there, he learns that Julia has already known about his engagement to Esperanza. She wishes him for his marriage and leaves him. On his return home, he gets a double blow. He finds Esperanza talking to her friend about loyalty and faithfulness. Alfredo senses a desire to communicate. He supports the reason for craving and choice over dishonesty. Esperanza soon confesses that she knew about his affair with Julia. In pursuit of his lust and heart's content, she encouraged him to cancel the wedding. However, the wedding goes ahead as scheduled and Alfredo surrenders to reason. Near Julia's native town, Alfredo, after 8 years, is sent to some work duty. On his visit, he feels nostalgic and cannot resist his lust for Julia, and soon finds an excuse to meet her. Julia is still single, that forces Alfredo to dream about starting a new life with her. However, he soon realizes that everything is not the same as it were before. Moreover, Julia has also changed, lost something. Dead Star symbolizes the unspoken present tense. The affection and love between Alfredo and Julia seem to be existing and real. However, with the passage of time, it fades away like a dead star. Hence, the disillusionment and memories of the past do not exist anymore. After the 8 years of reunion, the fading love was not because of fading youth, but because Alfredo finds her different from what he perceived in the past and all the gone years. He is delusioned. The illusions that he conceived all the years turns out to be nothing but dead star. It was dead long ago, yet it emits apparently real lights to travel the long distance. The devotion of Esperanza for Alfredo also symbolizes love. However, she believes more in reformative virtue than true love. That's why we can say that she is in a relationship because of moral obligation. Dead Star expresses the subject of forbidden love. Forbidden love is only apparent and curses and disturbs the person until a person realizes his or her faults. Responsibility is another underlying theme of the story. Alfredo is engaged to his beloved to get married, yet he distracts himself with another woman, Julia. He forgets his responsibility towards Esperanza. Even after 8 years, he still thinks of Julia until he realizes that Julia has changed herself.